I think we are now live here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. Here, I'm here with Wes Neighbors. This is Drew DeArmond. We are here live. We are having our abbreviated show after the UAH Chargers were able to take care of the Trevecca Nazarene in their opener. It was 88-83. The UAH Chargers got a win, and now we are trying to get everything adjusted here over at Baumhauer's Victory Grill. And let's see here. And I'm here with Wes Neighbors, and we are here with Pastor John Dees as well. And we are going to have an abbreviated drive for you tonight. I'm in for Steve Moulton, who was on the road, as you heard, with Scott Tyson for UAH basketball. Wes, good evening to you, sir. How are you?
I'm doing good, Drew. Just trying to I'm watching the Auburn game, watching Auburn's basketball team, which is really good, and defensively is incredible.
Yeah, they had an incredible run in Maui. They're up 47-31 at half. I know they're trying to finish off the Memphis Tigers, and they had an epic comeback win against a top 5 Iowa State team in round 1. And then, honestly, I was watching it last night late. They just absolutely controlled North Carolina from the tip.
So I didn't watch any of that game, but
right.
I will say they're the best defensive team that I've ever seen at this point in the season. For me, ever. Maybe the North Carolina teams of old, but offensively they're scoring a lot of points as well. Cardwell is the guy I think is the most improved on the team.
Yeah,
he's playing great defense. He's passing the ball. They just seem to be doing everything right. And, of course, Broome is probably going to be the MVP. How could you say he's not? I just can't believe the guy's still there. I thought they should have drafted him 2 years ago. Of course, I might be a little biased.
No doubt about that. I mean, he's made a huge impact since he came over from Morehead State in the transfer portal. No question about it. And, again, Auburn looking like they got a great shot to win their first ever Maui Invitational. And, as things are unfolding, they've been number 1 in the country under Bruce Pearl before. They may very well be headed that way again. They've got 2 young men. One went to UAH, was Gulf South Conference Player of the Year, Chaney Johnson, who's basically their 6th man this year. And then running the point, Denver Jones, spent his first 2 years at Buckhorn High School, transferred to a prep school over in Tennessee. And then, of course, we know was at Florida International before coming home to the state of Alabama, back to Auburn. And he's been a quality addition ever since, just a really good basketball player. And this is a really good team, and a very deep team, probably going about 10 deep. T-Hod Pettiford is also coming off the bench, one of the best freshman guards in the country from New Jersey. He's really looked like and lived up to that McDonald's All-American, label. Some do, some don't. But he's really done a great job. They've got Chad Baker-Mazzara back. We know he kind of stirs the drink for them, gives them a lot of toughness, and does a lot of the dirty work stuff. And then Dylan Cardwell, he's another old guy. They gives him a big-time 1-2 punch inside at the center and power forward spots.
But I remember when he would just come in and kind of spell Broome, and they try to hold on while Broome was out of the game with him. And he's a different player. I've been watching him. He doesn't look like the same player to me. He looks like a guy that has taken two big strides forward.
Yeah, and there's no doubt about that. But definitely some strides forward, no question. And then Alabama tonight, they're going to have a chance to in the Players Era tournament. That's the tournament, the NIL tournament, where you can win $1 million if you win it for your NIL collective. They took a big step forward last night. Right now, the University of Houston doesn't really want to play anybody from the state of Alabama. They've got 2 losses. They're in the top 10 in the country, but they've lost to Auburn. Now they've lost to Alabama. Alabama came back. You heard that game here on 97.7 The Zone, 85-80 in overtime. Mark Sears snapped out of that little slump. He had 24 to lead the Tide. And then Mo Diobade, I think he set a record for hard hat points last night. He got the hard hat, 10 points, 16 rebounds, 3 blocks. And now Alabama will play again tonight. You'll hear that game on 97.7 The Zone. They'll take on the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. They have, a couple of big-time Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, a couple of McDonald's All-Americans. Their only loss, though, was to Antoine Petway and Kennesaw State, as they were playing in Atlanta right before they flew to Las Vegas. So Alabama with a chance to get to the finals. If they win, they will be in that $1 million game on Saturday, and with an opponent to be determined. But again, that Players Era tournament over in Vegas, a big event too. And so right now, I know we're going to talk some Iron Bowl, but basketball a big deal right now in the state of Alabama, Wes.
Yeah, I mean, they're ranked a lot higher than the other two the football teams at this point right now anyway.
Yeah, no question. Well, your thoughts on the Iron Bowl, Wes? I mean, we had quite a shift in the last 7 days where it looked like Alabama had figured things out. It looked like they were playing their best football. Then we just see the unbelievable performance in Norman, Oklahoma, just as bad as I've seen in a while. I mean, we haven't felt like that. We were spoiled under Nick Saban for 17 years. Never saw very many of those performances, especially after year one. Probably that was the first time since year one, unless you want to talk about the national championship game against Clemson, where they were beaten by a really good football team. But Oklahoma didn't have that kind of record, and they weren't expected to be in the game like that.
Oklahoma's turned the ball over a bunch, and their defense was good. I was worried about the game.
No doubt.
If you listened to me the week before, I was worried about both these games. Everybody already punched our ticket. I said, listen, Oklahoma is a really good defense. We're playing them out there. That could be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Offensively, I'd watched their games. They had moved the ball at times. This quarterback had been hurt most of the season. They had 2 weeks to prepare, and they ran the option. And we've had trouble with the option all year. Auburn, similar. Defense is not quite as good, especially the back end, but they're still good. They have some really good players. They've played very well defensively. They've been at quarters, they've looked really well offensively. They've turned the ball over a lot as well. It's hard to win a game when you turn the ball over a bunch. I.e., look at Alabama, threw 2 picks on their side of the field that were just, they're crippling. That was the 2 touchdowns they scored in the second half. You cannot turn the ball over and win in the Southeastern Conference. Can't do it. And if you have more turnovers than the other team, it's really simple. I mean, everybody tries to make this hard, over-adjust, this or that. If you don't turn the ball over, you're going to win most of your games. If you throw it to the other team, especially on your side of the 50, you're going to get beat. I mean, everybody talks about South Carolina, how good they did at Oklahoma. Well, hell, they had 3 turnovers for touchdowns. It was 21-0. The offense didn't score any. The defense scored all 3 of them. I watched the game. So, I don't – this was part coaching, part playing, partly I thought Milroe didn't have his best game, but they also dropped 5 passes.
Yeah, in the first half especially.
So, you can't do that. And this, Milroe's an up-and-down guy. Mm-hmm. He's feast or famine. Has been since he's been there. You like to see him do good things, like against LSU. He got a quick start, made some throws. All of a sudden, they got to change the way they play him. When you start throwing it deep, you can't spy him. And then it opens it up. Oklahoma never had to do that. So, to me, I think Auburn's getting better. There's no doubt about that. Auburn can beat Alabama. There's no question about that. But to me, it's about how Alabama plays in this game, right? I mean, to me, it's if Alabama goes out and executes and do the things they're supposed to, it doesn't matter what Auburn does. They start turning the ball over, they're going to get beat. Mm-hmm. You cannot turn the ball over in the Southeastern Conference and win a football game. Look what Oklahoma did in the second half. They just ran the ball. They weren't going to throw it to save their life. Didn't have to. Had a lead. Mm-hmm. Right? If Alabama gets a lead and they throw it around, we would have killed them. Right. Because you can't win that way. So really, as hard as everybody talks and makes it about this or that, and I think the people wanting to fire the bow are really not very smart.
Right. I totally agree with that.
Watch Florida. Watch LSU. Watch these idiots, what they do to their coach. They're hurting your program. Listen to what Coach Saban said. If you're a fan, you need to cheer. That's your job. Let everybody else do their job. This guy's about to have one of the top recruiting classes in the nation.
Yeah.
You got to quit your complaining and be a fan. You're complaining because they've lost 3 games.
I know. I've tried to tell people that they're not 3-8; they're 8-3.
Yeah.
I mean, and I know everybody's used to being 10-1 or 11-0.
Guess what's going to happen? Everybody's going to leave.
Yeah.
It's not like the old days.
Yeah.
You can't fire. You can't fire your. Look at LSU. I
Yeah.
mean, if we could be LSU, they're a box of chocolates every game.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. I mean, they fought like the Divins just to beat Vanderbilt, which we didn't do. But I'm just saying they had them at home, and they're acting like they won the national championship now, and they're 6-4.
Yeah.
So it could be worse.
No, it could be. And then as y'all, I'm sure discussed on the drive, and the thing that's moved again is the signing period is next week. So you've done all this work to put together this number 1, number 2 recruiting class, and now you got to hold it together. Auburn's got a top 5 class. They've done Hugh Freeze, even though they've had their struggles this year, he's kept it together for the most part, and they've lost only a couple guys.
Yeah. It used to be just recruiting, Drew.
Yeah,
but it's more than that now.
Oh, your roster in its entirety.
Hugh Freeze would be in big trouble without his. We all know that. That's not the secret. Without the recruit class, right? But it's more than just the recruit class.
Right.
Heck, you got to keep players. You got to keep your players that you want to keep. Then you got to go out and find NIL players. I mean, Auburn, you can't start a freshman quarterback next year.
No.
You'll be 500 again, and he'll be gone. It's kind of like Jerry Glanville said why he got rid of the NFL Hall of Famer.
You talking about quarterback?
Yeah. No. When he was at Atlanta, they drafted
Brett Favre.
Brett Favre.
Yep.
But he wasn't going to play a rookie quarterback because he was in a contract year.
That's
a
for
good
long.
way to get fired.
Remember that sound bite?
Yeah, you're going to get fired if you start a rookie quarterback because you're not going to win. Same thing in college. It's hard to win a championship with a freshman quarterback.
Yeah.
Not unless you have a senior-laden team, which they will not. So, it's a lot to this thing now. And if you got a guy that can recruit, can get players, can evaluate players, they'll figure everything else out. It's just a matter of time. But it's not going to be like it was. It wouldn't have been for Nick Saban as well. And it's not going to be for Kirby Smart because the landscape has totally changed.
Yeah.
You don't have the depth you have.
No.
You get people hurt, which Alabama's had a lot of people hurt this year. A lot of starters on defense. I think 4 or 5 starters on defense are out for the year. So when you start that happening, it takes a lot of moving parts. Now, I wasn't happy last week.
No,
so I'm not going to say that. And I am disappointed. That being said, the big picture, I think, is bright. Maybe for both these teams. But Alabama's still ahead of Auburn, no question. And they can stay ahead of Auburn by winning Saturday.
And I will say this, in the last 2 days, Alabama has added 2 more pieces to the recruiting class. We know they lost 4 pieces down the stretch, but none of them were really surprising because those young men had visited other schools, even Caleb Cunningham. Well, Caleb Cunningham, it looks like, will be replaced. We'll see. He hasn't signed yet, but Derek Meadows from Bishop Gorman in Las Vegas, 6'5" receiver, who they thought that even before Caleb Cunningham committed that they were going to have in the class. He decided to go to LSU. We all know what happened. Bryce Underwood flipped to Michigan. The first thought was that they were connected, that he would follow Underwood to Michigan. But it looks like right now with Meadows, Alabama's made a really nice late push with he and his dad. They want to sign 2 receivers in the class. They have Latsier Brooks committed from New Jersey. This young man would replace Caleb Cunningham. And then yesterday, and this is kind of ironic because in Nick Saban's first major recruiting class at the University of Alabama, one of the last pieces was this running back out of the state of Michigan named Mark Ingram II, who was a 4-star, who was not really being all that ballyhooed as being a great player. We all know how that turned out, but they flipped another Michigan State legacy, Jace Clarizio. He has flipped from Michigan State to Alabama to because they lost Anthony Turbo Rogers. He's probably going to end up at Ohio State, but Alabama replaced him now with Jace Clarizio. So Alabama is still, I think, going to put together at least a top 2 recruiting class nationally.
Back from Mississippi?
A.K. Deere. He's still in the recruiting class.
Yeah, he's really good.
He's really good.
He was originally going to Ole Miss.
Right,
and
they
I've seen
flipped
tape
him.
on him. He's really good. No, they have a great recruit class coming in. There's no question, and that's what needs to happen. And now they're going to fight to hold on to their players.
Right.
And then go out and find some more where they might have holes. That's what you have to do. And but the last thing you want to do right now is get rid of your coach and watch your team go bye-bye.
Yeah, because the recruiting class will disintegrate. Your roster will disintegrate.
Yeah, I mean,
and that's
I don't
what
even know
makes
how
it so
anybody
tough.
can have that thought, to be honest with you. I mean, Vanderbilt was disappointing. We've been out coached in 2 games. And then I thought the offense, the defense didn't play good. The offense didn't play good, and neither one of them played good. Well, the other thing is that call with 14 minutes left in the half, in the game, we were talking about this, me and the Padre, who we're going to hear from here in a minute, that guys will have a beautiful Thanksgiving message.
Oh, yeah, always do. Tradition.
No pressure.
Yeah.
But
he's ready.
Yeah, he's ready. But, these games are momentum games. And when you have a play like that, that's how you win football games. That's what they were missing the whole game. And then to have them, not only, when I've talked about this, take the points off the board, then they get the ball at the 50. And so it's like having 2 15-yard penalties and a play taken off the board on one of the worst calls I've ever seen. So you have to put that in the mix as well. If it was just 24-3 and that didn't happen, I would be very, very – I'd be like some of these other ones wanting to jump off the bridge. But it wasn't like that. And I thought the first touchdown was a touchdown.
Oh, when he stepped out, they said.
They said he stepped out, but it was close. But I don't think he stepped out anyway.
Well, I know. But we need to take our one and only time out. When we come back, Pastor John Deeds from the Cross Point Church is going to be here for his annual tradition. Former Auburn linebacker, a very proud Auburn graduate, but one of the best men you'll ever meet. And he's going to have our Thanksgiving tradition, our invocation there. And he and Wes are going to talk some Iron Bowl when we return here at Baumhauer's Victory Grill on this Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
You're listening to The Drive with Wes Neighbors and Steve Moulton on 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Ann Adams with Berkshire Hathaway Rise Real Estate is the one name to know if you're buying or selling real estate. With years of local experience, Ann Adams offers buyers in-depth knowledge of the local housing market and will narrow available properties down to those you'll be interested in so you can save time when shopping for your new home. If you're ready to sell, Ann offers a seamless process using accurate pricing and expert negotiation skills to make sure you get a fair price for your home. Call Ann Adams today at 256-337-2625 or log on bhhsriserealestate.com.
Have you discovered Good Company Cafe? The place for breakfast, brunch, lunch, and so much more. Enjoy brunch all day and pair with one of our many seasonal refreshing drinks, including alcoholic and non-alcoholic options. Choose inside or outside on our gorgeous, spacious, dog-friendly patio and have some fun with friends playing yard games in the courtyard. See catering, to-go options, and lots more at goodcompany-cafe.com. Good Company Cafe, 7500 South Memorial Parkway.
AL cert number 21014.
Welcome into the hottest and coolest game show around called The Freeze. Today's contestant, Bob. Bob, can you tell me the heating and air business that provides free service with repair?
Is it Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
Can you tell me which heating and air business provides free second opinions?
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning.
You are a grand prize winner. You have won a visit from the #1 heating and air business in the Tennessee Valley.
Talent Heating and Air Conditioning?
That's right. Talent Heating and Air is coming to you.
This is Thomas with Talent Heating and Air Conditioning, and you don't have to win a game show to use us. We have free second opinions year-round, and we're doing free service calls with a repair. So just remember, call Talent Heating and Air Conditioning at 256-503-4490. or visit us on our website at talenthvac.com.
Our customers want best-in-class solutions. That's why we've recently added many new vendors like Zebra barcode printers. Our next level team has added premier automation solutions. We're not here to sell you just one product, and we love helping you find the right solution to your specific needs. That's what doing the right thing is all about, and that's why our customers have come back for over 50 years.
By now, you know about Eagle Masonry and Insulation, and maybe you know that Eagle also does landscaping and dirt work. But how about after paint work? Shower doors, shelving, and mirrors, all taken care of by Eagle, the same Eagle that takes care of all your masonry, insulation, and landscaping needs. Eagle brings the same level of expertise to all these disciplines, and they're ready to provide you with a free quote. The website is the same, insulatewitheagle.com, as is the phone number, 256-755-1556. Give them a call and see what Eagle can do for you. Eagle saves you time. Eagle saves you money.
Buckhorn Youth Sports was created in 2018 to provide kids in our community the ability to compete at every sport possible. We offer football, flag and tackle, cheer, volleyball, wrestling, basketball, baseball, and softball. You can find us on Facebook at Buckhorn Youth Sports, where we prepare the future. Buckhorn Youth Sports is a proud supporter of Buckhorn High School football. Go Bucks!
From the Fox 54 Weather Center, I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman. Showers and thunderstorms across the Tennessee Valley as we head into the overnight, early into your Thanksgiving. Some of those thunderstorms could be on the stronger end of the spectrum. We're talking about the threat for heavy rain and some gusty, damaging winds. That activity should be out of here by about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning on Thanksgiving. After that, we're talking about some scattered showers through the rest of the day on Thanksgiving under a mostly cloudy or an overcast sky. Thursday night, early Friday morning, we're going to be clear and quiet across the Tennessee Valley. Temperatures drop into the lower 30s. A mostly sunny sky on Black Friday. Temperatures only climb into the mid-40s. Much the same on Saturday. We start the day in the upper 20s. Mostly sunny Saturday afternoon. Temperatures only climb into the mid and upper 40s. I'm Chief Meteorologist Jordan Dressman on your home for ESPN Radio, 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
Online at 977ESPN.com.
Stream them online.
Call in.
It's an important job, and it's an vital organization.
Tweet in and join in. We are 97.7 ESPN The Zone.
West Neighbors here with at Baumhauer's Victory Grill, doing our last segment here on a Wednesday night pre-Thanksgiving, and I'm glad to have the Padre, my good friend, the Pastor D's, and former Auburn great.
Yeah.
It's good to have you.
Yeah, that's funny, Wes. It's always good to be with you, and Drew, always good to be here. Of course, Steve, y'all do such a great job. I was mentioning a little while ago. Sure enjoyed your conversation with Charlie Trotman. He's a good friend of yours. Class act all the way, and you know, of course, I'm just delighted to be here with you guys. I always like to come and share a few little thoughts at Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, and think about those things. But aren't we blessed to be able to? Look, we're sitting here at Baumhauer's, and what a great restaurant, and the people here, they're just having a wonderful time. And plenty of food.
Prettiest waitress.
Yeah, there you go.
Chris Anderson's
daughter. That's right.
Can't beat that.
I'm telling you. And was he not one fabulous football player?
A fabuless guy. One of my good friends.
Yeah.
Huntsville High guy. We all stay pretty close.
No doubt.
You know, it's there have been from Duffy Bowles to Chris Anderson.
That's exactly right. I saw Duffy just the other night. As a matter of fact, I mentioned to you that the quarterback club, Richard Todd, spoke. And, of course, Richard and I are very, very close. And I was privileged to be able to introduce him and all the rest. But I saw Duffy just the other night. It was great to see him.
Yeah. You know, what's so cool is, and everybody knows that listens to us anyway, that I'm a YouTube fanatic. I mean, I'm on YouTube every night, either for news around the world or watching football. And you can watch all y'all's games.
Oh, yeah.
And, you know, it's given me a different outlook on my friends.
Yeah.
Duffy. You know, you see all these former players that I grew up with and would meet. You know, Baumhauer. You know, I graded him. And the fourth quarter against Auburn, his sophomore or junior year, he was unbelievable. I mean, but you know, you see these other guys for Auburn as well that I know. It's just fun. It's fun to watch.
Which is another great thing about this time of the year. It's called Thanksgiving, and I of course, and I don't mean. Thank God for good old football.
There's no question.
And just to be able to enjoy what we have here, and just the cheer for our teams. And Auburn's got to go into a tough place. Haven't won at Bryant-Denny since Cam Newton, and it's been quite a while. But it'll be a great game, great atmosphere,
No doubt.
and all the rest. And just thanks for all the blessings God's given us. And I love to talk about that. Just want to remind everybody and just take some thoughts. One of the things that as I was raising my family, at Thanksgiving, we would always set aside 5 grains of corn at each place setting. And the reason we would do that is the settlers had gotten so starving. The winter was so hard that they had nothing to eat. And the daily rations got down to one day, but that for a period of time, all they had to eat every day was 5 grains of corn. And so when they finally got around and survived all that, they set that aside to remind them of that. And so I've shared before the 5 grains of corn, just for us to all remember. Number one is the good earth. Thank God that we live in a country that can feed the world. These farmers that we have, it's amazing what they can do. And thank God for that. That's a wonderful, wonderful blessing. And then, of course, I shared just genuine courage, the courage the people had to do what they did. And then, of course, Christian freedom. One thing I love about America is we're not a Baptist country, or a Catholic country, or a Buddhist country. We're a nation where you're free to operate and believe what you want to believe. And that's why we have the churches we have, and a lot of good things. Just like right now, there's this thing called Operation Christmas Child. A lot of people give to that. They put back little shoe boxes and ship them to countries all over the world with kids who have nothing, absolutely nothing. But it gives people an opportunity to pack a shoe box and to touch some child in, I don't know, Madagascar or somewhere like that,
or wherever.
Yeah, or wherever, exactly. And I heard one story, and it was so touching. But just for us to remember how blessed we are, this little girl, her favorite toy that she got in the shoebox was a toothbrush. And she said from that day on, she would get up at 4 a.m. in the morning so she could brush her teeth before the rest of the family used the same toothbrush. In other words, we're talking about, well, yeah, me first, but we're talking about poverty that we can't even fathom. And let's always remember that. And then, of course, compelling love. The last thing Christ told us to do before he left this earth was to, hey, go, reach people, teach people, keep on telling them about me till I come back to get you. And that's where it all came from. But there's one little thing I just want to remind everybody of is the one little grain called Indians. Little known, Squanto. Squanto was a captured Indian, and he was taken over to England. And in that process, he learned the English language. And later on, he was free. Some monks bought him, and he kind of had a desire to come back to North America. But that movement of him being brought back over here caused those settlers to be able to survive because he could teach them how to raise things, what to grow. And they could understand each other because he could spoke the English language. And lots of other settler groups were completely wiped out because of the hardships and all the rest. All I want to say is this. Those are the kind of things that we should be taught in our schools. Our children should be learning those kind of things like that. We have such a wonderful, wonderful land, and it's so easy to take things for granted. And we just need to be thankful for the great, great blessings God's given to us and those people who went before us to enable us to be blessed like we are. Thank God.
This is a wonderful place we live in.
Yeah.
The good thing about especially this town, if you need help, all you have to do is ask for it.
Isn't that the truth? Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like that. Other countries aren't even close to that.
Oh, absolutely.
If you ask for help, they're trying to take advantage of you. Here, it's different. And we have a lot to be thankful for. And, you look at this game coming up.
Yeah.
Like you said.
Yeah.
it's so much fun. I mean, I got a plan. You got to have a plan for everything, right? I got a plan if we win, and I got a plan if we lose. And I'm hoping the plan if we win is going to be a lot funner than when we lose.
Well, and
if we lose,
it always is. And you were a great player. I was just on the team. Big difference, but we're all part of it. But just a minute, there'll be 100,000 people there on Saturday. There'll be millions more watching, and because we're playing the game. But what a blessing that is to be able to do that.
You know, they always say you can throw out the records, and see, I played on a team like Auburn was this year.
Yeah.
We were ahead of every game at halftime.
One of those years. Wow.
And we would get beat on just crazy stuff, missed field goal. I go over all the things. It was unbelievable what would happen. I mean, we got beat by one possession by Georgia and had 6 interceptions.
Wow.
I was third on the team in tackles. I had 4 tackles. That's bad. You know, that's not good.
Yeah.
And just when you're center,
when you're starting center.
Yeah, is in the top 5. Yeah. I also had I only had my only 15-yard penalty on the last play of the game, too. I swear he was in bounds, Drew. He wasn't out of bounds. It was a bad call. Anyway, but we're all, like you said, Padre, so blessed. And we really just need to do the next best thing for somebody, right?
Exactly. And that to wrap it up, and that's the truth. And I say that at Crosspoint all the time. All you ever really need to do, just do the next right thing. Just remember that. It'll serve you very, very well. God bless you guys, and thanks for everything y'all do.
Well, we're gonna leave Bob Harrell's here. What's next, Drew? What do we got on the is it NFL football? Hey, so Haley K, coach of the Kevin DeBoer show's next. We appreciate it. We're out of here.
Bless you guys. God bless.